Hi, I'm Tony Solis, and I want to show you a preview and a peek of my doll room. So this is going to be everything in my bedroom that makes me, me. All my collections on display, and I can't wait to show you around, so come on in. As you walk into my room, I have just like a whole plastered on this wall posters of things I really like and some sketches that I've accumulated over the years. The vibe of this room changes quite a lot. It will go from like stoner, beachy Santa Cruz kind of guy to Disney loving fan. And instead of changing the vibes, I just add on top of it. So speaking of Disney fan, I went to a Comic-Con last year in Sac, where I got to meet the incredible, amazing Santino Fontana. He is from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and from Frozen, the voice of Hans, of course. And because I told him I loved him in both those projects, he signed it as Tony, I love Crazy, Santino Fontana. And of course the other actors for the Disney villains, like Ken Page and, Gaston and Jafar, they were there, but I only had the chance to see Santino because, well, the lines were really long. But I was happy anyways. And speaking of Disney villains, I went to a Renaissance fair last year where I did my dream cosplay of Ursula from The Little Mermaid, which is actually the human incarnate of Ursula, Vanessa. I appreciate the artist for really being nice and being stylistic with it. I think, the shell, he got my nails right, except the shell kind of looks like a croissant. So it's interesting, but I really do like it. And while I was getting my caricature taken, I had to explain the whole plot of The Little Mermaid because he just wasn't getting what character I was. And speaking of mermaids, this mermaid sketch was an ink sketch done by my friend like 10 years ago in art class. She knew how much I love mermaids and decided to sketch that for me. So yeah, I just love walking in here and seeing like the little posters and things I have. Okay, so as you walk more over here, this is my boyfriend / roommate's little area. He has his PC set up. It's his own little gamer corner because, as you can see, he's kind enough to let me have this entire room to decorate as my little doll room. So I gave him this little spot right here where he has his little gamer stuff set up. So it was a little unorganized because it's his spot that I don't touch, but anyways, I'm happy he has his own corner. And this is, as you can see, my corner of the room, which this is like my Andalasia fairy tale inspired thing. My favorite Disney movie is Enchanted, and I think you could tell by the Art Nouveau kind of art on the wall and just the fairy tale vibe. This tapestry I got at a Renaissance fair, and I just think it really ties in the whole Fairytalecore of the room. It's that kind of like vibe that you get in. And every time I go to thrift stores and antique stores, I have to get like an Art Nouveau piece if they have it available. Which, fun fact, that print right there, that Giselle, every time I go to Comic-Con and they have the Disney artists and vendors, I always look for Giselle because she's my girl. I have to have her. And I'd never get any luck seeing any prints or any artwork for her. Well, at the last con I went to at Sac Comic Con, someone tracked me down. They tracked me down in that crowd and said, hey, you're the boy who likes the enchanted stuff. Well, that table, that booth over there has some enchanted artwork. I don't know if you want to check them out, but their prints are selling really fast too. So I went, had to go hunt them down because that person didn't give me the best directions. And I found that Giselle. I'm really happy because she's such a pretty style and she really ties in the Art Nouveau aesthetic. Not just Art Nouveau, but because Enchanted takes place in New York. And of course my bed. It's a little messy because I was napping in there, but my favorite thing about my bed is my Wicked pillow. Love Wicked. As you can see, you'll see more Wicked stuff here, but yeah. And I'm happy I just sleep next to the window because like I feel like when the birds come chirping at the window, it feels so like princess vibe. Like the vibes are there. So anyways, I love my little corner. It makes me happy. And behind me is something I really love. I'm so excited. The doll wall. This is what it is. I can take out my glasses for this, but this craziness is shrines of my favorite Disney characters. At the top are my Disney limited edition dolls. I don't have a lot because they're quite pricey. They go from $130 to $150 now. The price has changed, and I only want to ever buy them at retail. I hate buying things from resellers or scalpers. If it's a scalper, I do not want it. If it's more than the retail price, I do not want it. But yeah, I have my favorite characters. Not all my favorite characters. There's so much more, but that's what I can afford right now. And then this little tier of shelf is just my childhood interest when I was a kid. I kind of liked My Little Ponies and fairies, like the Pixie Hollow games. If you know, you know. Those Pixie Hollow games on Disney.com were so much fun. That was my Club Penguin. And of course the Monster High. This was a gift from a friend for our Secret Santa, so I'm very grateful. A lot of these little figures, since I will never seek them out, I get them as gifts from my coworkers or my friends, or I'll find them out in the park. Or my niece will sometimes bring me a little toy that she finds. So yeah, these are my little like unicorn, Pegasus, fairy shrine. And then just some more Disney dolls. That's really, like, if you notice, the bread and the butter of my collection is the Disney dolls. And then this shelf is, I think, my favorite shelf, I have to say. It's Barbiecore, absolutely. Pink bubblegum Barbie. And we have some of my Wicked stuff because Glinda's pink, and I don't really have a section for Wicked right now. But I have enough to do so. But this is my Wicked stuff. Dorothy, Glinda, Elphaba, the Barbie movie dolls, the cup that I stole from work. So it's really lots of fun. My favorite vintage Barbies. Although this shelf is not just Barbie. It is enchanted. This little shelf, if you want to get in there, is my enchanted shelf. So it's dedicated. My boyfriend likes to call it the Giselle Shrine, but it kind of is. It's just my Giselle dolls. They're very rare because they didn't make a lot of dolls for Giselle as a character, which I think Disney should. This doll, as I just said, I hate spending more than retail for dolls, but she's my one exception. She's my most expensive doll. She was $800, which her retail now, or not her retail, her resale value is $1,000 plus with a box, but I was able to get her resale out of box for $800, which is, I think, is a good price considering she was only a D23 exclusive, which, if you guys don't know, D23 is the special convention that they have every 2 years for Disney fans. So she was only exclusive to that year, and we're not going to get another Giselle doll until 2027 because I think Disney only likes to release them on the anniversaries. So yeah, this is, and she's my grail. She's my absolute grail. If, God forbid, any of this were to combust into flames because of a house fire, she's the one I'm saving. I'm trying to save this whole shelf if I could, but if it all goes into flames, this shelf and this doll is what I'm taking. I almost considered donating plasma for her too. So that's a funny little story. And then just the rest of the shelves are my Barbie collection. It's not really sorted right now, but normally I sort it from era and decade. And, you know, just model, like 90s Barbies would be at the bottom, 80s and holiday Barbies would be here, and my, like, deluxe Barbies or repros are up here. And I think, do I have, oh, this Barbie right here in the plaid is a Silkstone Barbie. I got her for $10 at the thrift store. She is worth $140, so check your thrift stores. I get really lucky there, or Facebook Marketplace. But yeah, this is my favorite shelf, of course. My Barbie pink shelf. And then this is my Disney shelf. Just a lot of Disney memorabilia, like villains and mermaid stuff. I love mermaids and villains. When I say I like Disney, I really like the classic stuff, like the Renaissance era, as you know. My favorite trip to Disney was probably my graduating class trip to Disneyland with my class, so that was always fun. And this Ariel shelf is cool. My favorite thing on this Ariel shelf is Barbie, signed by Jodie Benson's voice actress, which I will insert a picture of me meeting her. Not only did I meet her, but I also got to meet some of my favorite Disney princesses like Anika Nani Rose and Paige O'Hara. And yeah, these are my favorite things in my collection too.
What item in your collection sparks the most conversation?
The item that sparks the most conversation would probably be, it's this Elsa right there. Now this Elsa in the shadow box tells an interesting story of my bucket list meeting Idina Menzel, the incredible voice of Elsa, but she's also in Enchanted. When I got to meet her at the Take Me or Leave Me tour just this past July. It was like the second show, so it was really cool to get to start the show off. And I got to meet her with the VIP experience, and she was just so sweet. Like, truly one of the sweetest people in the world. And I brought my doll just because I was really nervous. I was doing this concert completely solo on my own. I had no one accompanying me, so and it's like the first big event I'd done in a while. So I took that doll with me, and when I was sitting in the front, she saw the doll and she's like, "Did you want me to sign it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, if you would." Like, I'd really appreciate it. So she got the cape signed, and I got to snag a quick picture with her, and she held it. She just, was fondling the doll, saying, "It's really neat, and I love these dolls, but please don't put pins in it." And yeah, we just had a cute little conversation. And then when the show started, she sang "Take Me or Leave Me" from Rent. And I did get to sing the other part with her, so that was cool. The bucket list of my life. So I've gotten to meet so many of my favorite Disney princesses, hence why I just love Disney as a kid, and I will still continue to love the company.
Would you consider yourself a Disney adult?
You're gonna like my answer because I would not consider myself a Disney adult. Am I a Disney fan? Absolutely. But I think with any fandom, I don't like the word Disney adult because it just makes it seem like liking Disney is strictly an immature child thing. When with any other fandom, like, you would call a Star Wars fan a Star Wars adult. You wouldn't call a Marvel fan a Marvel adult. You would just simply call them a Marvel fan or a Star Wars fan. And because I think Disney has family-friendly entertainment, people just assume that that's really mature. And of course, with any fandom, there's certain levels of dedication where some fans might be really into it and go into that like immature territory. But I feel like I really like Disney, like the Renaissance version. So my heart's still with that. But I wouldn't consider myself a Disney adult. I consider myself a Disney fan.
What is your plan for this collection when you die?
Gosh, my plan for this collection, well, a little morbid. But I would have to say I have plans to part with it before I die. I would definitely want to part with it before, just so I have a say of who gets who. I have two nieces at the time of filming right now. I have one niece named Kenya. She's 2 years old. And then my other niece, I won't say her name yet because I don't know if that name's going to stick, but she's, about to be born soon. So I have a pretty good chance that those two nieces would love Barbies. But for like the really important stuff, like my signed dolls or my limited edition dolls, I would probably want to part with those before. And the good thing about the community I'm in, the doll collecting community, is that I know a lot of people who find the same sort of attachment and appreciation for these dolls and these characters that I have like just good trust in my friends that they'd want to take care of it, take it off my hands. And I would want to definitely part with it before like I have it long term too, because you never know. My long term goals, I'd maybe want to start a family one day. If I ever did start a family, I would not be collecting. I could never dedicate this hobby and put like my family before a hobby. So this is my favorite thing to do right now before I have those kind of responsibilities. But that's my plan overall, to just part with it in different waves so that I can have a chance to say goodbye. I don't like the idea of estate sales. I would hate for, like, God forbid me to not be here and then someone just like plucking things off the shelves and be like, "I want that, how much is this?" So I want to always part with it beforehand so I have a say of who gets what and where an object will end up in. So yeah, but those are some good questions, and thank you so much for interviewing me today. And I just wanted to show you guys a peek of my room and what I look like and what my kind of vibe is. It's all of this. It's just a collection of eclectiveness and just randomness, but it's soft and it's fun and it's playful. And that's what I am. That's what I'm all about. Living like your inner childlike self and just having that imagination flow out in your personality and the way you dress. Like, I'm wearing Alice right now with my Alice in Wonderland collection. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what my life is like and what I live in. So thank you so much for coming in today to see all this stuff, and I hope we see each other again.